You are warmly welcome our YouTube channel new program series. Mm, This program series is discuss about uh, knowledge of biology field. Today is our program series discuss about episode 1. Then we we are connected to today program. Please stay. Okay, then we connect to our discuss discussion presentation. Then we start. Please for a moment. Please for a moment. So set correctly. Now we connected to today discuss presentation home page. Our program series is Biology Knowledge Hub. Today discuss this program series under English media, and today is our first session. Today we discuss about our program series introduction part. Next, go to next slide. First, we discuss about today learn outcomes. Learning outcomes. By the end of this episode, you will be able to describe under topic. These are objectives of learning biology, importance of learning biology, unique main characteristics for distinguish live organisms from non-living things in the world. And last topic is several main greater scientists who invented great innovations in biology field entire time in the entire time. First we discuss about starting part today lesson. Let's start today lesson. When we consider animals, plants, and microorganisms, they are living things. We have learned about these things from our early childhood. People wanted to learn more information about living things on more years ago after biology as a subject began to for that purpose and develop to present status. According to mentioned above points, we can define biology below as biology is a science of learning living things. Next, we start our today main topics. Then we go to next slide. Objectives of learning biology. The main objectives of learning biology and develop a deep understanding of living organisms and their interactions with each other and the environment. More specifically, there are several key objectives include first one is understanding life and living organisms. We can learn about the structure, function, growth, and development of all forms of life from unicellular to complex organisms. then understand biological processes such as respiration, photosynthesis, reproduction, and genetics. Next objective is developing scientific thinking and inquiry skills. We can learn how to ask scientific questions, form hypotheses, design experiments, and analyze results. Therefore, build critical thinking and solving skills through observations and interpretation of biological data. Next objective is appreciating the diversity of life. We study the vast variety of living organisms we know as biodiversity and how they are classified. It known as taxonomy. Second picture can be show concept of biodiversity. Then understand evolutionary relationships, the importance of adaptations and natural selection. First picture can be show simple picture about word biodiversity. Fourth objective is understanding the inter interdependence of life and the environment. Under this objective can be explore ecosystems, food chains, and ecological balance. We are also learn how human activities affect nature, such as pollution, deforestation, climate change, and how to protect the environment. Protect environment known as conservation or conservation. Next objective is exploring genetics and heredity. We learn how traits are inherited from one generation to another. Then can we understand the role of DNA, genes, and chromosomes in inheritance and diseases. Do you like to watch our onwards episode in this program series? You can subscribe our YouTube channel and press bell icon. Then you can be watch another program series in our YouTube channel. Then we connect our today episode. Next objective is applying biological knowledge to human health and medicine. We understand how the human body functions and how diseases occur. The second picture can be show uh, biology knowledge connect to our body health. Then we learn how biology contributes to medical advance, advancements, biotechnology, agriculture, and environmental sustainability. Second object is preparing for further education. Seven objective is preparing for further education and careers. Biology provide functional knowledge for careers in medicine, nursing, environmental science, biotechnology, agriculture, and more support for further studies in related fields such as biochemistry, microbiology, and zoology. Next objective is promoting awareness of global biological issues. We learn biology as a subject for understand topics like pandemics, genetics, engineering, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Second picture can be shown global warming or climate change, world climate change. Therefore, can be built responsible attitudes towards science, health, and sustainability. Then we come to our today second uh, topic. It is importance of learning biology. Learning biology is important for many reasons, both practical and intellectual. Here are the main points highlighting its importance. First one is understanding life and ourselves. After we learn biology as a subject in our life, it helps us understand how our bodies work, such as how we breathe, eat, grow, reproduce, and fight diseases. It explains the basic building blocks of life. Example for basic building blocks, cells, DNA, etc. Second importance is promoting health and medicine. Knowledge of biology is essential for understanding diseases, treatments, and how medicines work. Therefore, it forms the foundation of healthcare, nursing, medicine, and public health. Next, important importance is improving agriculture and food production. After biology learned as a subject, it helps to improve crop yields, develop pest-resistant plant, and breed healthier livestock. Second picture is show biology subject use for agriculture. Then it supports food security through biotechnology and sustainable farming. Next important point is protect protecting the environment. After biology learn as a subject, it helps us understand ecosystems, climate change, and how human activity impact nature. In additionally, it guides conservation efforts and the protection of endangered species. Next important point is developing scientific and critical thinking skills. Because of studying biology, build skills in observation, analysis, experimentation, and logical thinking. These skills are valuable not just in science, but in everyday problem solving. Next important point is exploring ethical and social issues. Biology as a subject, it raises awareness about important issues like cloning, genetic modification, organ donation, and rapes. It encourages informed and responsible decision making in society. Next important point is opening career opportunities. A background in biology is essential careers in medicine, biotechnology, environmental science, research, education, and more. Next, we go to the other important point. It is driving scientific and technological advancement. Biology as a subject can be used for innovations in fields like genetic engineering, vaccine development, and bioinformatics. First picture is shown. Mention all fields. Mention above all fields. It contributes to solving real world challenges in health, industry, and environment. Next important points of next important next learning important points of biology is fostering global awareness. It helps us understand global challenges like pandemics, biodiversity loss, and water scarcity. Then it encourages cooperation in solving worldwide biological and environmental issues. Next, then we come to the today episode third topic. It is basic main distinguished characteristics in organisms from non-living things. For something to be considered an organism, it must meet certain unique biological requirements that distinguish it from non-living things. These requirements define the basic characteristics of life. In this topic, we describe these basic characteristics with their definitions. That unique characteristics are: first one is cellular organization, second, metabolism, third, homeostasis, fourth, growth and development, five, reproduction, six, response to stimuli, seven, adaptation and evolution, eight, heredity or genetic material. Next, we discuss that characters one by one. First is cellular organization. When we consider to define that, it mentioned given below. Every organism is made up of one or more cells, which are the basic unit of life. First picture can be shown unicellular, also known as single cell organisms, and multicellular organism, also known as there are more cells organisms. There are more cells in animal body. They are known as multicellular organisms. We consider, for examples, for unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Examples of unicellular organism is bacteria. Example of multicellular organism is can be considered as dog. Next, we go to another character. It is metabolism. When we consider to define that, it mentioned given below. The sum of all chemical reactions in the body that allow the organism to obtain energy and use it to maintain life. Second picture can be show metabolism of human body happen. Examples for metabolism reactions are breathing, digestion, circulation. Metabolism consists of main two components. These are: first one is anabolism reaction, second one is catabolism reactions. Next, we discussed more information above points one by one. First one is anabolism reaction using simple substances and build up complex large substances large substances. Examples for anabolism reaction photosynthesis and protein synthesis can be considered for anabolism reaction. Second reaction type is catabolic reactions. In that reaction, complex large substances break down into simple small substances. Examples that reaction is cellular respiration. Third unique character is homeostasis. Homeostasis. When we consider to define that, it mentioned given below. Or definition of homeostasis mentioned given below. The ability homeostasis is the ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. Also known as balance of internal internal human body is homeostasis. Example for homeostasis: human body keeps its temperature around 37 Celsius degrees. Fourth unique character is growth and development. When we consider to define that, it mentioned given below. Growth and development is organisms increase in size, also known as growth, and undergo changes in shape or function. It also known as development over time. Second picture can be realized growth and development. Example for growth and development: a baby growing into an adult. Next character is reproduction. When we consider to define that it mentioned given below. Reproduction is the process by which organisms produce new individuals, also known as offsprings of the same species. There are two types of reproduction processes. First one is sexual reproduction, second is asexual reproduction. First, we consider about what is sexual reproduction. In this reproduction, two parents are involved to make new offsprings, new offspring. They are genetically different from parents and also have new characters. They example examples human and Anthophyta plants or most multicellular organisms. Second reproduction type is asexual reproduction. In this reproduction, one parent involves to make new offsprings, offspring, new offspring. Offspring are genetically similar to parents and it also not form new characters. The examples for asexual reproduction, unicellular bacteria, and most fungi species. Next character is response to stimuli. When we consider to define that it mentioned given below. Response to stimuli is organisms detect and respond to changes in their environment, also known as stimuli such as light, temperature, sound, and chemicals. First picture can be show response and stimuli happen in our hand when our fingers touch to tiny object. Example, there are other example. Example for that character is a plant blending toward light, also known as phototropism. Next example is when hand touch on heat object, then it bring away heat object. Next character is adaptation and evolution. When to consider to define that it mentioned given below. Adaptation and evolutions are organisms have traits or traits also known as characters that help them survive in their environment and population evolve over generations through natural selection. First picture can be used to realize evolution and adaptation. Examples for that character, polar bears developing thick fur for cold climate. Last unique character is heredity or genetic material. When we consider to define that it mentioned given below. All organisms have DNA or RNA which carries genetic information passed from parents to offspring. First picture can be used to realize parents' characters transfer to offsprings. Second picture can be used to parents or no no. Second picture can be used to some characters transfer through from one generation to another to others onward generations. This ensures inheritance of traits. Okay, then we come to today episode discuss last topic. It is mm, greatest pioneer biological science who developed biology field of world. There are uh, there are many greatest scientists was involved to develop knowledge of biology field. Among them, we selected most important scientists. First one is Aristotle. First picture can be identify him. He was a Greek nationality philosopher. He introduced as father of biology. He studied first to systematically and classify animals based on their habitat and characteristics. Then, after he proposed a structure known as scalar naturae, also known as ladder of life. It categorizing organisms from simple to most complex. First picture can be so it concept of ladder of life. That concept few century ago using that concept published a book using of that concept and classification system. Second picture can be identify that published book. Above classification system emphasized empirical observation in biology. Second scientist is Andreas Vesalius. First picture is him. First picture used to identify him. He was a Belgian nationality biologist. He introduced also known as Found of Human Anatomy. He published a book known as De Humani Corporis Fabrica, also known as On the Fabric of the Human Body, a landmark work on human anatomy. it. Second picture can be identified first page in that book. Third picture can be identified internal pages in that book. He challenged earlier anatomical misconception by direct human dissection. Third scientist is Carl Linnaeus or Carolus Linnaeus. First picture can be used to identify him. He was a Swedish nationality biologist. He introduced, also known as father of taxonomy, all-time multi multinomial nomenclature system used in ancient time for biological species classification. After he developed it as binomial nomenclature system to use for naming species. Example for binomial nomenclature system: scientific name of human is Homo sapiens. Next, he classified thousands of organisms based on structural similarities. Next, he authored Systema Natura, a foundational work in biological classification. It is a book. First picture can be identified that book home page, first page. Next scientist is Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Second picture is obtained. Second picture can be used to identify him. He was a Dutch biologist. He introduced, also known as father of microbiology. He improved the microscope and was the first to observe and describe microorganisms. Or animalculus. First picture can be identified. This is he invented microscope and did that microscope used to identify first observe microorganisms in the world. Also discovered bacteria, protozoa and sperm cells. Second picture can be used to identify uh, first observation microscope cell. Next scientist is Robert Hooke. Third picture can be used to identify him. He was an English nationality. He was a British nationality biologist. He introduced, also known as cell discover or cell discover or father of cell discover. He coined the term cell after observing cork cells under a microscope. First picture represent he used microscope to observe cells and he 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 shown microscope view. He published a book Micrography and his book contained detailed illustrations of microscopic observations. Then we go to the next scientist. He is Charles Darwin. Second picture is used to identify him. He was an British nationality biologist. He introduced, also known as father of evolutionary biology. He developed the theory of evolution by natural selection. First picture is can first picture represent Darwin's theory of evolutionary. He authored on the origin of species. Year is 1859, explaining how species evolve over time. Second picture is represent Darwin Finch bird test in Galapagos Island and his observation. His work unified all biological sciences under the concept of evolution. Then